Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Agnieszka from 5 Minute Language. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you do so. So today I want to talk to you about some reasons why you may want to learn Korean. And the reason I decided to make a video about this is because when I first started making YouTube videos about learning languages, I noticed that a lot of my subscribers were having conversations about learning Korean in the comments. So even if the videos weren't about Korean themselves, people were talking about learning Korean, exchanging tips, exchanging ideas for where to find resources, how to learn Korean, and I think Korean is a really big language that people are learning at the moment. So I've done some research into Korean. I really want to learn the language myself, and I'm going to give you the reasons why you may want to consider it as well. So the first reason is that the Korean alphabet is actually really simple. When you look at it, you might think it's a bit like Japanese or Chinese. How am I going to learn this? But actually, many people say that the Korean alphabet only takes about a couple of hours to learn, and sometimes even less than that. It's because the number of characters is actually very limited, and you use the same characters to write the language in the same way as you use the same characters in English, so you only have to learn a very limited number of characters. The second reason is that the pronunciation rules are very logical. Unlike in English, if you have ever learned English as a foreign language, you will know that English has some very illogical rules when it comes to pronouncing words. There are lots of exceptions, and sometimes words look in a certain way, but they're pronounced completely differently. So the advantage of Korean is that pronunciation is quite logical. And that's a good reason to learn it, because other languages have more complex pronunciation rules. The third reason to learn Korean is that the concept of genders, for example, doesn't exist. It's also quite simple to conjugate verbs. In some languages, you have to learn genders off by heart. For example, in Russian, Polish, French, Spanish, you have to learn the gender of nouns. Whereas in Korean, this concept doesn't actually exist. So as you can see, there are already a couple of grammatical concepts that are relatively easy to master. So that may be something that encourages you to learn Korean. The fourth reason, and that's probably the main reason why people learn Korean, is because they want to understand the lyrics of their favorite K-pop songs, and they want to understand their favorite dramas as well in Korean. So Korea obviously produces lots of TV and dramas and films, but sometimes you have to wait a long time for these things to be translated, and sometimes they're not even translated. So if you really want to indulge in Korean drama and Korean music, then make sure you learn Korean so that you can fully engage with the culture of the country. Reason number 5 is that you will be able to order your favorite dishes in Korean restaurants in Korean. It's true that sometimes people who work in those restaurants are not actually Korean, but at least you will be able to feel proud of yourself when you order something and you can actually pronounce it in Korean correctly. Reason number 6 is actually related to work. Being able to speak Korean is not like being able to speak English or French or Spanish, because Korean is a rather niche language to learn. Not many people know it. If you live in the United States, for example, how many people actually learn Korean as a foreign language? Not that many compared to how many people learn French or Spanish. So you will be at an advantage when it comes to looking for job opportunities that require you to speak Korean. You might be working for a Korean company, or liaising with colleagues in Korea, or you might get a translation job or a teaching job if that's something that you're interested in. In any case, the number of people who speak Korean well is much smaller than for other more popular languages. So you will be sought after by employers who are interested in people who speak Korean. And the final reason is that there are over 80 million people who speak Korean. So it's a relatively big language if you compare it to some smaller European languages. There are a lot of people to connect with, a lot of people to make friends with, and when you speak Korean and you speak to a Korean native speaker, they will definitely appreciate it. So, good luck. Let me know in the comments below if you're learning Korean or if you would like to learn Korean, and share your best tips for learning the language. And I'll see you next time. Bye!